You can be kind to her, available whenever she calls, agreeable about everything, ready to drop your plans at a moment's notice, constantly trying to make her happy, and she'll lose respect for you anyway. Here's the truth that destroys most men's understanding of relationships. Respect isn't earned through niceness, availability, or agreement. Respect is earned through strength, boundaries, and the willingness to stand firm, even when it costs you something. The man women respect isn't the one who never says no. It's the one who says no when it matters and doesn't apologize for having standards. Today, you're learning exactly what creates genuine respect. Not temporary attraction, not surface-level interest. Deep, lasting respect that forms the foundation of healthy relationships. The ancient Stoics understood respect in ways modern men have forgotten. Marcus Aurelius commanded the most powerful military in the world, not through pleasing everyone, through unwavering principle and decisive leadership. That same psychology applies to relationships. Let's break it down. The foundation of respect is having non-negotiable standards and boundaries. Most men have no real boundaries. They say they do, but when tested, those boundaries disappear. She shows up late repeatedly. He accepts it. She's disrespectful to his friends. He makes excuses for her. She cancels plans last minute. He understands. Each time you let a boundary violation slide, you're teaching her that your boundaries don't matter. You're communicating that disrespecting you has no consequences, and humans, including women, will unconsciously push to find where your real boundaries are. It's not malicious. It's human nature testing for strength and consistency. The man who maintains his boundaries firmly but calmly earns respect, not because he's controlling, because he respects himself enough to enforce his own standards. Epictetus taught that we must know what is ours to control and what isn't. Your boundaries are yours to control, her response to them isn't. But maintaining them regardless of her response is what creates respect. Here's what boundary enforcement actually looks like in practice. She cancels plans last minute for the third time. Most men accept it with disappointment, maybe passive-aggressive comments, but no real consequence. The respected man calmly states, "I understand things come up, but when plans are cancelled repeatedly, I need to reconsider how I invest my time. Let me know when you want to make concrete plans you can commit to." Then he follows through. He doesn't make himself as available next time. He doesn't chase. He maintains the consequence without anger or drama. This isn't punishment, it's self-respect. And self-respect is the foundation of all respect. The second element that creates respect is emotional self-control. Women test men's emotional stability constantly, sometimes consciously, usually unconsciously. They need to know. Will this man remain centered when I lose my center? Will he stay calm when I'm emotional? Will he be the rock I can lean on? When you match her emotional intensity, when you become reactive to her moods, when you lose your composure during conflict, you fail the test. You've proven that your emotional state depends on hers. That's weakness, and weakness destroys respect. The man who remains calm during her emotional storms, who doesn't take her moods personally, who can listen without becoming defensive, who maintains his center regardless of her state, that man earns profound respect. Marcus Aurelius practiced this daily. He wrote in his meditations about remaining undisturbed by external events and other people's emotions. This self-mastery made him one of history's most respected leaders. Apply this to relationships. Her bad day doesn't ruin yours. Her frustration doesn't make you defensive. Her test doesn't trigger your insecurity. You remain you, steady, present, unshakable. That stability is magnetic. It creates respect and attraction simultaneously. The third element is having a clear purpose beyond the relationship. The man whose entire world revolves around his relationship loses respect quickly. Why? Because he has no identity beyond her, no mission beyond keeping her happy, no life beyond their interactions. This is suffocating and unattractive. She doesn't want to be your entire purpose. She wants to be part of a larger, meaningful life you're building. The respected man has goals he's pursuing, a career or business he's building, skills he's developing, friends he maintains, hobbies he's passionate about, a vision for his life that exists independent of any relationship. This creates natural scarcity and value. You're not always available because you're building something. You're not desperate for her attention because you have fulfillment from multiple sources. Seneca wrote extensively about having meaningful pursuits that give life purpose. Men without purpose become hollow, regardless of relationship status. Women instinctively respect men who are building something, not because they're using you for resources, because purpose signals strength, discipline, and forward momentum. The fourth element that creates respect is the willingness to walk away. This might be the most important and least understood principle. If you cannot walk away from a relationship that doesn't serve you, you have no power in that relationship. You're not a partner. You're a hostage. The man women respect most deeply is the one who clearly values himself enough to leave if necessary, not as a threat, not as manipulation, as a genuine standard. He knows what he requires in a relationship. He knows what behavior is acceptable and what isn't. And he's willing to enforce those standards, even if it means ending the relationship. This willingness to walk away creates a paradox. It makes you more attractive and makes her less likely to want to lose you. Because she knows you're not desperate, you're choosing to be there, which means she has to earn and keep your choice. The desperate man who can't walk away becomes taken for granted. Why wouldn't she? He's proven he'll accept anything rather than risk being alone. Epictetus taught that attachment to external things creates suffering. The man who's too attached to the relationship to risk losing it has already lost his power in it. The fifth element is consistency between words and actions. Say what you mean. Do what you say. Simple principle, rarely practiced. Most men say one thing and do another. They set boundaries, then don't enforce them. They make plans, then cancel when something better comes up. They claim certain values, then act contrary to them. This inconsistency destroys respect because it reveals weak character. It shows you can't be trusted. Not because you're malicious, but because you don't even trust your own word enough to follow through. The respected man is consistent. If he says he'll call, he calls. If he sets a boundary, he maintains it. If he commits to something, he follows through. His word actually means something. Marcus Aurelius believed that character was revealed through consistency of action over time, not dramatic gestures, but reliable daily choices that align with stated values. This consistency creates trust, and trust is the foundation of respect. The sixth element is the ability to disagree without being disagreeable. Most men handle disagreement poorly. They either avoid it entirely, becoming yes men who have no real opinions, or they become combative, turning every disagreement into a battle. Neither approach earns respect. The respected man can disagree calmly. He has his own opinions and isn't afraid to express them, but he does so respectfully, without attacking her character or intelligence. I see it differently. Here's my perspective. Not, you're wrong, and here's why. The difference is enormous. This ability to disagree while maintaining respect shows confidence and emotional maturity. You're not threatened by different opinions. You don't need her to agree with you to feel secure. This creates space for real intimacy. She can be herself without fear that disagreement will cause conflict, and that safety creates deep respect. The seventh element is leading without dominating. Women respect men who can lead, not dictate, lead. There's a massive difference. The dominating man makes unilateral decisions without considering her input. The weak man refuses to make decisions at all, forcing her to lead everything. The respected man takes initiative and makes decisions, but does so with her input and consideration. He suggests plans rather than waiting for her to plan everything. He takes charge when leadership is needed. But he's not a tyrant. This balanced leadership is increasingly rare. Most men swing between passivity and control. The middle ground, confident leadership with respectful collaboration, is where respect lives. The Stoics believed in leading by example through virtuous living. Marcus Aurelius led the empire not through tyranny, but through wisdom and principle. Apply this. Take initiative in planning dates, making decisions about logistics, and moving the relationship forward. But do so while valuing her input and considering her preferences. The eighth element is self-improvement without requiring her validation. The respected man is constantly growing. He works on his body, his mind, his skills, his character, not to impress her, because self-improvement is part of his identity. He doesn't need her to acknowledge his gym progress. He doesn't require validation for his career moves. He doesn't seek approval for his choices. He's improving because that's what he does. Her opinion is welcome but not necessary for his commitment to growth. This independent drive for excellence is deeply attractive and respectable. It shows he has internal motivation rather than external validation needs. Seneca wrote about the importance of daily progress and self-examination. This commitment to continuous improvement creates natural respect. The ninth element is treating everyone with consistent respect. Watch how a man treats waiters, cashiers, parking attendants, or anyone who can't benefit him. That reveals his true character. The respected man treats everyone with basic dignity and respect, not because it benefits him, because respect is part of his character, not a strategy he deploys when convenient. Women watch this carefully. How you treat others predicts how you'll treat her once the initial attraction fades. Consistent, respectful treatment of everyone signals solid character. Marcus Aurelius wrote about treating all people with justice and kindness. This wasn't naive idealism. It was practical wisdom about building character and earning genuine respect. The 10th and final element is outcome independence. The respected man isn't desperate for any particular outcome. He's interested in her, but he doesn't need her to complete him. He wants the relationship to work, but he doesn't need it to work. This outcome independence creates calm confidence. You're invested, but not desperate. Interested, but not needy. Committed, but not clingy. Women respect this because it signals abundance and self-sufficiency. You're with her because you choose to be, not because you're afraid of being alone. Epictetus taught that we should do our best while accepting that outcomes are beyond our control. This creates inner peace and external attractiveness. Here's what ties all these elements together. They all require genuine self-respect first. You cannot earn her respect if you don't respect yourself. Every element we've discussed, boundaries, emotional control, purpose, willingness to walk away, consistency, ability to disagree, leadership, self-improvement, treating others well, outcome independence, all require self-respect as foundation. The man who doesn't respect himself will fail at all of these. He'll violate his own boundaries to avoid conflict. He'll lose emotional control because he's insecure. He'll have no purpose because he doesn't value himself enough to build one. Self-respect isn't arrogance. It's the quiet certainty that you deserve to be treated well, that your time and energy have value, that your standards matter. The Stoics built their entire philosophy on this foundation. Know yourself, accept yourself, improve yourself, respect yourself. Everything else follows. If you're ready to become the kind of man who earns genuine respect through character, rather than chasing it through pleasing behavior, comment below, "I respect myself."